Greetings and welcome, people of YouTube. It's me, Essence of Forte, just hoping to do a very quick video in response to a certain user warning the people. Now, I've already used one of his videos actually. It was in the opening to my documentary, Advanced Beyond Belief. We can just play that quickly.
He would show you, but why do you think God would try to prove himself to someone who has no faith? God does not need to prove himself. God knows that he exists.
And the way that he created us is just...
So yeah, I'm just going to be responding to one of his more recent videos in which he discusses the whole point around apparently he does not exist, etc. It's only a very short video, it's under 2 minutes, so just play it quickly and then I'll come back and I'll very quickly go through it and just discuss it.
A smart enough person with enough knowledge and history could prove that I do not exist. But that does not change the fact that I do exist. And I know I exist because if I didn't exist, I could not be sitting here contemplating if I might or might not exist. People can also prove that God does not exist. But that does not change the fact that I have met Jesus Christ, and that Jesus came to me and forever changed me. If you want to know that God is real, then you have to seek Jesus. You have to seek him in prayer until you know that he is real because he manifests to you. Then it won't matter if scientists prove from history and from science that God does not exist, because you will know that he does because you have met him. You would think it's ridiculous if people were proving that you did not exist because you know that you do exist. God knows that he exists, and I know that Jesus Christ is God, and I know that he exists because I have met him. But I cannot prove to you that I exist, and I cannot prove to you that God exists. So if you want to know what is true, then you have to find out for yourself. You have to start seeking, and you will know that he exists.
Issue number 1. Nobody is or has proved that you do not exist. I don't know why you seem to think this, and nobody could. There's a reason for this. We have actual official documentation that you exist and physical evidence that you exist. The official documentation, your birth certificate, your medical bills, your mortgage, your driving license, your passport, all this is citizenship, etc. All this is documentation that you as a person exist. As for the physical evidence, of course, right in front of us we have video evidence, and I know what you're going to say. This video evidence is not blurry and has not been tampered with, unlike maybe some UFO or Bigfoot videos, etc. So the evidence is compelling and it does not seem altered at all. So it's actual evidence, really. So no, nobody could disprove that you exist, no historian could, no nothing like that. On to God. Now, nobody's disproved that God exists either. This is just a false way of thinking. It's not up for the non-believer to disprove the existence of something, it's up for the believer to prove that something exists. It's called burden of proof. If you'd like to know more, look up Russell's teapot, etc. The burden of proof rests solely on the person making the positive statement that X exists. For example, Komodo dragons existed. So they went to the Komodo Islands, they found the Komodo dragon, it exists. Simple. As for God, evidence still pending. We have no evidence whatsoever for God. All acclaimed evidence has either been invalid, inaccurate, or just not reliable at all. That is a major issue. Then we go to the Bible and its accuracy. The fact that your Bible contradicts itself does mean that your God is impossible. It's a factual impossibility for the Christian God to exist. An all-loving, all-powerful God who allows evil is an impossible God, no matter how you look at it. Then there's the issue of the factual statements. A lot of them are wrong. Bats are not birds. The moon is not a light source, it is a reflective surface for the sun. You know, all of these issues are in the Bible, and if the Bible was not divinely inspired, wouldn't be such an issue. The fact that the Bible is apparently, according to you guys, divinely inspired, I'd expect zero errors in it. Totally. No errors. That's my least of my demands, etc. But the fact that you cannot accommodate for that is weakness on your part, because if it was divinely inspired, I'd expect it to be at the very least correct. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we have evidence for your existence. The only evidence that you present in your video is your personal experience. Now, this is quite easy down to delusion or psychopathological disorders. People get them all the time. They get from many different things. You know, they see the shadows moving, etc., whilst in the dark, or if they've lost a loved one recently, they might hear their voice, etc. They might see a random image of them. It's just their mind fires up, and they, you know, because they're large emotional gain out of it, and their mind just fires up, and they think they see it. You yourself support this idea by the fact that you say, just pray, just keep praying, you know. Then you're putting a lot of emotional backing behind it, and if you want something enough, and there's absolutely no evidence for it, your mind will play tricks on you. That's the downside of the brain. And as for counter evidence to that, I am ex-Christian, and I will tell you it is absolutely bogus. I prayed for most of my young life, and nothing of the sorts they talked about. You can say I wasn't a real Christian, to which I say, fuck it. Yeah, that's just a no true Scotsman fallacy. So yeah, it was pretty rubbish. So maybe when you come back with some better points, we can discuss it a little bit more. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And again, I'm trying to keep it short. So thank you guys for listening. This is Essence of Thought, out.